Hey guys, in today's video, I'm actually not going to be recording a solve. I'm going to be teaching you how to solve a 3x3. I tried to, that did not work out. Alright, so make sure you have your cube ready because you're about to become a puzzle pro. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is scramble your cube, obviously. Alright, good. Now that we have a scrambled cube, this is all I use the computer generated scramble, by the way. You can just mix it up with your hands since you're still a beginner. But so the first thing you want to do is you want to make, this is beginner's method, by the way. So you're going to want to make a white flower or a daisy on the yellow side. So you're going to find all your white edges and put them on the top. So now I have to go over what edges and corners are. Alright, so this is a corner. A corner has 3 colors on it. This is an edge. It only has 2 colors on it and it's in the middle. Corners are on the ends, like a corner of a cube, like a box for example. And an edge would be the middle piece, like the edge of a box. So now we got that discussed. So now you're going to want to bring all your white edges to the top with simple moves. This can be done intuitively, which means you don't need to know how to do anything to do this. So right now I have an easy scramble, so I can just do it like this. There we go, like that. I'll go even more in depth with it. When you have a white edge going like this and it's on the bottom, you can just move it up like that. If you have it move like this, you can move it once right here, or the other way right here, and then you can move it like that. If you have a flipped edge, then you'll just do the same thing. You'll do once of that move, and then you'll move this one here, so that you can open up this spot, so that you can put the white petal in there, and move it like that. Alright, so now that you have the daisy done, what you're going to want to do is you're going to align the edges with their bottom on the white cross. So this is the white cross step. Now, you're going to use a move. You're going to bring this all the way around to its home spot. You'll know you did it right if your center matches this edge color, which also matches this. So it'll look like that. And then after that, you want to do it for every color, but you want to make sure that you do it correctly. So some of them won't be in the correct spot. These can be done instantly. 2 moves, not just one. You want to bring it all the way down to the bottom with 2 moves. Then you do the last one, and this, instead of doing an F2, that would be wrong. So instead, you would move it over with a U move, which I'll teach you the notation in a second when we get to the algorithms part. And then you would just bring it down like that to align the cross, and your cross should look like this. Alright, now you have your cross done, so what you're going to do in the beginner method is you're going to align the corners to the bottom also. So what you can do, this could also be done intuitively, but it's easier if you know the notation, so I'll go over that right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is learn the notation, and the notation goes like this here. With the notation, each move stands for a face. So for example, this would be R because it stands for right face. So each face, when I say a letter, it means to go clockwise. If I say prime, it means to go counterclockwise of that order. Every face goes opposite of each other, or of the face that's parallel to it. So now that you know that, okay, so this would be R, L, U, D, B, F, and then the slice moves also. But that would just mean up face, down face, right face, left face, back face, front face. And then there's also slices like middle slice, equatorial slice, and standing slice. So M, E, S. So R, L, B, F, D, U, S, M, E. So now try this algorithm with me. This is called the right algorithm, or the right move, right insert. Sometimes it's even called the sexy move. Pretty weird, right? I don't know who gave it that name, but this is how it goes. It's always like a cycling move. So it goes like this. R, U, R prime, U prime. There's also an inverse, which goes like this. U, R, U prime, R prime. And then, so take a second to get used to that move and do it over and over again. I'd recommend doing it around 20 to 30 times just right now, just so you have it in your muscle memory. Muscle memory is very important for solving the Rubik's Cube. So, there's also the lefty version, which goes like this. L prime, U prime, L, U. And the reverse is U prime, L prime, U, L. Now, that you know the notation, try this algorithm with me. It's called a T prime. It's a PLL, which is the last step of 3x3. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F. And again, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, F. And if you're wondering why I'm not using full wrist turns to turn the cube, it's because of something called finger tricks, which I'll probably teach later or in a different video. For finger tricks, it's just when you don't use your wrists unless you're doing an R or an L move. So, now we have that done, we need to do our corners. So if the white corner faces to the left when you hold this face in front of you, then you would do it with a lefty insert or a lefty move. So L prime, U, L. But notice how I put it in the wrong corner? You don't want to do that. You want to put it in the right corner. So find a corner, check which to see the orientation of the corner. So in this case, it's going to be on the right, so I'm going to do a right insert. But you don't even have to do the last move, the U prime. You can only do the R, U, R prime if you want, but the full move will also preserve it, which is good. So we're gonna do R, U, R prime to insert that corner, and notice how these two match. They go into their slots. We're gonna do that again for all 4 corners on the bottom. So look for a corner and repeat the process. We can do, let's find one. Alright, so we have this corner. This corner's in the wrong spot, so we're just going to do the move. So we have to take the piece out. So we'll do the move once, R, U, R prime, U prime. And then move it over. Actually, don't move it over, don't mind me. Alright, so then you're going to move it over with the U move. And then you're going to do the lefty version because it's facing towards the left. L prime, U prime, L. Our next corner is orange, blue. So you can do, when it faces to the top, you just do the move 3 times. You will put it in its home slot, which is this one. It doesn't matter if the corner looks twisted and it's flipped. It's going to fix itself when we do the right move 3 times. So we're going to do R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Now, we have that done. Oh, look, I have a free pair, which is good if I was going to teach you CFOP method, but I'm teaching you beginner method right now, so we're going to do the last corner with R, U, R prime. And that solves all of our corners. You know you did it correctly when all of the bottom is matching. And that brings us to our second step, which is the middle layer of the beginner method. So now what you have to do is you have to bring all the edge pieces to their home spots. So what you have to do is you have to find an edge right now. Look for an edge on your cube and make sure it doesn't have any yellow on it. You don't want any pieces with yellow. So that marks off this one, this one. You don't want any with yellow. You want an actual color. So what you're going to do is you're going to find an edge and then bring it to its home slot. So let's use this one as an example. We have red on the bottom and green on the top. We're going to move the red to its home spot. Now we see it's at green, so we're going to move it away from the green, which means I didn't even have to do that extra move. But the good thing is it's helping you teach it. You'll learn it. So now that we've moved it away from green because the green is on top, we're going to do an R, U prime, R prime. And that gives us this case, which allows us to then rotate So instead of holding it on red, I would hold it on green now. Do a U move, or U prime, and then an L prime U L to insert it. And then you find another edge. So this one would be here. Move it away with the U. Push it up with an R. Move it in with a U prime. Push it back down with the R prime to preserve your white line. Now move it over with the U prime. Rotate. Bring it up to bring your bar up. Bring it up with a U prime, or a U. And then bring it down to its home spot to preserve this white. Now we have 2 edges left. And then we're going to do the same process. Now you might be wondering, what happens when I have it on the left? You're just going to do the mirrored version. So instead, you do a U prime, L prime, U, L, move it over, rotate, bring it up, and insert the same thing. Now we have OLL, but I have something else to tell you. What happens if I have only yellow edges on the top, though? Well, I'll show you what happens. Well, if that happens, then you take an edge out, and you do the moves again, but only take it out, and then bring the other one back in so that you have yellow again, and then you have only the cases again. Now, we have OLL, like I said before. So, you can have a hook case, or like a little baby L shape kind of thing, or you can have a line case, which looks like this, or you can have a cross case, or you can even have a dot. The dot is just a dot. So if you have a dot, you can do it on any side of the whole up face. You can just do this move. This move works for everything but the cross and the oriented corners case. So what you do is you do F, the move, so R, U, R prime, U prime, and then F prime to push it back up. Now we have hook. So you always want to make sure the hook is pointing towards you, like this. Then you do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Now you have a line case. So you can imagine this like a little person. You don't want him to be waking up, or it's past his bedtime. This is the story I tell people when I teach them how to solve it. You don't want it to be, it's past his bedtime, so you don't want him to be awake. You want him to be sleeping, and then you do the move. Now we have a corners case. So what you can do is you can do this move. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And that's called the soon. Or a soon. I actually don't know. I don't remember how to pronounce it, but you know what I'm talking about. Now you have a fish. So, you can either have the anti-soon, which looks like this, it's backwards, or it's just a lefty version, or you can have the normal one. So if you don't know how to deal with this case, then just do the normal soon, which goes R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Now you have a normal soon, and you can solve it like this. R, U, R prime, or actually, you want to hold the dot right here. I forgot to mention that. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Now you're on to PLL. You're so close to solving the cube. You got this. Now you're going to do the algorithm called the A-perm mutation. So this is PLL, permutation of the last layer. This is where you move all the corners and edges to their correct spots. Now, you can do any algorithm that you learn for PLL, but don't do the F right algorithm move. Don't do any of that stuff from before. It's going to mess it up. What you're going to do is R2, and then rotate down as you do it. And then this would be a B2, but since you're on the bottom, it's a D2. R, U, R prime, D2, R prime, or R, U prime, R. And that gives you this. This is a J perm, which is technically considered like many cubers' favorites PLLs, but we'll do the algorithm again. And now you have a U perm, which is exactly what you want to get. There's 2 U perms, which I'll show. Right now, this is a UB perm because it goes clockwise, in a clockwise motion. The edges need to go here, here, and here. They cycle clockwise. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold the solved face on the front, and then you're going to do R prime, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, or R prime, U, R, U, like that. There's also another way to do it, which goes like this. So you're going to do an F2, U prime, or U actually, L, R, F2, L, R, U, F2, which gives you this case, or it's just a UB, and that shows us, or this is a UA actually, because it goes counterclockwise. This edge needs to go here, before the edge needs to go here. If the edge needs to go here, then you do this algorithm. R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. And notice how that's just an inverse or reversed move version of the last algorithm. If you don't want to learn that extra case, then you can just do the same move 2 times, and before you know it, your cube is already solved. Congratulations.